Good morning, everyone. This is Jennifer Sanchez. How is everyone doing this morning? It is a chilly October 5th. I see Nancy with her beautiful scarf on. Um, So it is our Wise Morning Coffee Chat Show. Thank you for everyone jumping on. This is the founder of the Women's Institute of Self Development and Efficacy. I'm excited to be with everyone today and our co host and our guests. So I'm excited for the topics we're going to be talking about today because today it's going to be we're going to be Selena out. So, how do you say it? Like, we're going to be all Selena.
Selena.
Everything
Selena.
Selena today. Selena's. So, again, I'm the founder, and this show is really to promote our community, our wise community, women that are thriving in our community, women that are doing amazing things, women that have that are really involved. And I just want to give exposure to the women and show off what awesome things that they are doing. So, again, this is Jennifer Sanchez. Nancy, go for it.
Good morning, ladies. What is everybody drinking? I'm drinking Dunkin' Donuts coffee today. I actually had it ready last week. So a double take, French vanilla. Um, Good morning on this, freezing Monday. I was already outside, so I know it is cold. And My name is Nancy Fernandez. I am a mother of two. I work in the information technology department of a mechanical engineering firm. That's my passion, IT. I also like to exercise. I'm into fitness. I am a strong hit by Zumba instructor. And I love everything that has to do with fitness. Happy Monday.
Nice. Happy Monday. I love that scarf, by the way. I love big scarves. I should have grabbed the scarf. Dang it. Um, and Martha, can you let our viewers know who you are and introduce yourself?
Yes, good morning. My name is Martha Chavez. I am let's see, for work, I own a tax prep service. So I've been an accountant for almost 15 years. Been in the world of finance for over 20 years in one way, shape, or form. But most recently, I started doing financial literacy. I've been doing that for about 8 years. So basically, I just teach all about finance, and I've just kind of honed it into teaching women in particular. I just have such a passion for teaching women because, as I say, when you teach one woman, you teach an entire community. Once we take something on and it works for us, and we see that it's something good, we will share it with our sister, with our children, with our nephews, with our neighbor, with our friends, with our church, and so we're actually educating an entire village, an entire community. Um, and so that's my passion. I have three children, two adults and one teenager. My oldest son is married, and so I also have two grandchildren, two boys. Um, my parents have been married for over 60 years, and I'm one of eight siblings. So just have a ton of family and a ton of love and a ton of support around me. And I think that's what helps me thrive, and it helps me to want to be a better human, and to want to serve and to do more things. I am also into Zumba. I don't teach, but I partake. I love my Zumba and bike rides, and my favorite thing to do is just spend time in the presence of the Lord. I love to worship and listen to sermons all day long, and so that's kind of my jam. So for work, I do money and finance, and to live, I do family, love, and God.
That's amazing. Thank you. You're right up our alley, Martha. Uh,
Awesome.
so I love what you said. You have to, the main woman really is the one that manages most of the finances, usually in homes, right?
Mhm.
So if you teach the woman how to handle her finances, then you kind of teach, like you said, generations. So we're big believers in that. Like, it's the woman, she's usually the gatekeeper for all things, right?
All
So
things. Yes. Mhm.
You know,
I was
and
telling a friend the other day that what the kids, everything is mom, 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 and the only question they ever ask dad is, "Where's mom?"
yes, those are hilarious. I love those. I love that. I think I've seen those in memes too. So that's awesome. So of course it's coffee time, right? I know Nancy shared she got her vanilla, get up vanilla, French vanilla. So I have my this coffee I have today is called Madagascar Vanilla, I think it's called. It's from Starbucks.
Mm.
I like doing the cups, so I just experiment and taste different flavors. I never put sugar in my coffee, but it has a little sweet flavor to it, which is nice. You know, a little more smooth flavor. So, what are you drinking, Martha?
I've just got good old Folgers made at home. And I don't put sugar in my coffee either. I weaned myself off sugar a long, long time ago, and it's just kind of become a thing. So what I like to put in mine is just heavy whipping cream. I put a splash of heavy whipping cream, and it gives it like a creaminess and a slight, like, I don't know why, but it's almost like a nutty flavor, and it's not quite sweet, but it's just enough that it's a nice little smooth. And when I really want a sweet, I add sweet French vanilla, so it must be Vanilla Monday. But I add a little packet of French vanilla flavored stevia, and that kind of just gets it through.
Mhm.
That's what I'm having.
Nice.
I like stevia too.
Nice. You know, with you, it was funny because what was it? Me and my daughter, okay, my daughter loves to experiment with coffees and stuff. And she was making something and she's like, Mom, that's just made with butter. And I think it was creamer. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I don't want to drink that. That has butter in She put butter in the coffee.
Oh yeah, the bullet coffee. Yeah, bullet coffee. It's actually, there's a lot of health studies about that, but what you need to know about that is you have to be doing a high carb, I'm sorry, high protein, low carb diet like a keto, because it does have a
Mm,
lot of fat. And so you can drink it for the flavor, but if you're not doing a keto diet, you're drinking probably 800 calories first
Lord.
thing in the morning and a cup of coffee. You don't want to do that unless you're following that diet. So
Oh, Lord, no.
it actually
Lord.
tastes pretty
Mm.
good. You would think it would taste weird, but it tastes really delicious.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention. Even though she put it in there and I tasted it was like, oh, it does give it a little sweet type of
Mhm.
taste to it.
Yeah.
And I have noticed if you guys ever watched which is a great segue actually, Martha, you're the winner for our Biggest Loser challenge. Um, you were a second runner up. You
Second.
lost. How much did you lose?
Well, I lost 10% of my body weight. So 17 pounds. I started at 170 point something and I lost 17 pounds. And I was sharing with the girls that, it was only 1 pound-ish a week, 1 point something a week. And it really, at first I was so discouraged because I'm like, I'm working so hard. And, I was working out Zumba every day. And then sometimes I would come home and still do a walk in my neighborhood to reach my 10,000 steps. And I was exhausted. Um, so to only lose a pound, pound and a half a week was getting me discouraged. And then I went to make dinner and I grabbed a pound and a half of ground beef out of the freezer. And I'm like, hey, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like once I got the visual. And so I
Yes.
did that consistently, little, like half a pound, 1 pound, pound and a quarter, like, and then
Yeah.
a little bit added up.
Yeah. It adds up. People don't realize that a pound is a lot. You know, a pound of fat, if you Google it, and it's not pretty. You know, if you Google a pound of fat, what it looks like, it's like, oh, thank God that came off of my body, right?
Yeah.
But I'm glad you had that realization because so many people. I remember my trainer used to say, you know, a healthy way to lose weight is a pound, 2 pounds a week. That's healthy. And ever since then, I kind of just, as long as we're losing a pound, 2 pounds max, you're on the right track. So, Martha, that's amazing that you lost 17 pounds. I saw your before and after pic, and I'm not going to share it with anybody. I know that's inside our community.
Yeah.
But you look like a totally different person.
Thank
Absolutely. Like,
you.
you even said, I can't recognize myself. So, how do
Well,
you feel?
a side weird thing about that is in the house that I live in, my brother lives with me, my baby brother, and so he obviously knows that I'm on this challenge. And hey, do you want tacos? No, I'm on the challenge. Do you like? So he's always saying, "Where are you going? I gotta get my steps," and I'm out there at 10 o'clock at night walking. So when I took those before and after pictures, I'm like, "Hey, come here, look." And I showed him the pictures, and he's like, "Ooh, who's that?" And I'm like, "Ew, that's me, man." So
Oh my,
he was even like, "Oh, sorry, didn't recognize
that's funny. Oh my God. We have Anna joining us. Good morning, Anna.
you."
Let us know. Let us know what you're drinking, girlfriend. If you're drinking coffee or tea or good old water, let us know. But congratulations, Marta. I know that that's
Thank
a big
you.
deal.
It is.
Um, and I think for us it's accountability, right? Accountability, why we do the Biggest Loser, why we do, I mean, really why we do everything in
Yeah,
our
yeah,
community. Accountability is a big, and for some women that's what they need, right? There's different programs out there, right? So many programs out there, and I think something about jumping on a scale and challenging yourself on this scale every week, saying, and it's not that we focus so much on the scale, that's not the purpose of it, but it does hold you accountable to know that you're jumping on a scale, and now you gotta, report back to someone how you were doing. So I'm excited for you, Marta. I think this was
yeah.
my third round since we started, and I've lost 12
Wow.
pounds
Okay.
in total from when we started all the challenges.
Awesome.
Um, so, I mean, at the end of the day, hey, as long as you lost something,
You know what the biggest thing
that's
for me
awesome.
was to finish. That was my biggest thing. I have never, ever, ever, I'm 50. I have never started and finished a program ever. This was the first one. And the
Wow.
thing that made it different for me this time, I've tried every diet, I've done it all. Like, I mean, everything that was a fad at whatever, I've done them all. But what made the biggest difference for me this time was number one, the community. Having all that support and all that positivity and people like, you can do it. And just there's
Yeah.
so much positivity in the group. And I was like, wow, this is really great. So it really just kind of, it made me excited to like be part of something like that instead of being like in the haterade where people are like, oh, you're doing this and she's doing that. Like it wasn't anything like that. It was so positive and it
Yeah.
was so encouraging. And just to see the other women like have their wins and hey, I stayed away from cheesecake this weekend. That was my win. I mean, that's huge, whatever it
Yep.
is for you. I said no to Popeye's chicken one time, and I was like, "What?" Because that's like my favorite. Um, so it was community, and then the accountability was major to know that every Monday we had to put our little feet on that scale and post a picture. Like I knew, like I didn't want to be the one to say I'm not doing it because I'm afraid, and I didn't want to be the one to do it and have failed myself. So it really, really helped to have that accountability. It really, really was. That's what did it for me. And so I thank
Beautiful.
you for the group. It was amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marta. And I'm excited. I know that this is our fourth challenge of the year. So we'll be starting all over again in January. So for those that are interested, we're starting now a 12 week, and then we'll start another one probably in January after the new year. So
Awesome.
it's all about positivity. I mean, I think in our community where we thrive so much is because we encourage one another. There really is, I don't put up with that nonsense. Like, if you're the type of woman that likes to like compete and wants to cut everyone's throat, we're not the community for you at all. Like, I will literally, like, you will know, you will know this is not
Clap,
the community.
clap.
You know, yeah, right. Like, this is not, but if you're about empowerment, if you're about supporting your next fellow woman, and there's too much there's too much out there for you to compete. I think it's pretty sad when people compete. I compete with myself, right? And I love to compete healthy. Like I think if I saw Marza lose a pound, I'd be like, oh my God, I want to lose a pound too. It's not about like, oh, I want to beat Marta. It's more like, oh my God, I got to keep up with her because she's so doing so great. Let me try to like not eat the cheesecake this week too. That's kind of more where we're at.
And the other thing too was all the sharing. Like people were sharing how they were winning and what was working for them and sharing their recipes and hey, did you guys know you could do this? And hey, look, I tried this and it worked. That was brand new. I've never seen that before because we're in a challenge. So you would think, like what's normal, I think, out in the world is that, like you said, people are competing against one another. And this was so different. Like, yes, we're in a challenge, but it never felt like we were competing against each other. We were like all arm in arm wanting to win together. And it was such a breath of fresh air. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. And that's what I love about Wise is every time I log in, I know it's going to be something positive and encouraging and loving. And it's just so nice to have somewhere to go that's safe like that.
Oh,
You
thank you. Thank you, Marta.
know?
That means a lot to us. I'm sure it means a lot to Nancy and to me, and it speaks volumes of the community. So I appreciate you sharing that. And of course, we have Cynthia Panduro. She was one of our winners, maybe the first round, and then Yamilet also, who was in the challenge. So good morning, ladies. Just want to make sure we say hi to you guys and let us know what you're drinking.
Anna,
Anna is drinking, she said, Lavazza Italian coffee. So of course I have Cynthia and Yamalet. So let us know what you ladies are drinking this morning. Get your coffee. So of course we have to go into our topics. We had a great conversation about, you know, we kind of went on a tangent right now and started talking about Biggest Loser, but it's okay. It was still part of the program. But we wanted to talk about the whole situation. Nancy, go for it. Share what happened with, you want to talk about Amy. So let's go into that topic.
yeah. So they're talking about um, picking Ruth's replacement. And a lot of people are questioning about her ways. Um, it says, well, I was reading the article and it was saying something about it's going to affect the role of government, you know, um, and, Ruth set a path and, now here comes this newly appointed woman, um, and she might change things of how Ruth set the path for. I don't know. What do you guys think about this like abrupt appointment just like this? I mean, I thought I saw some petition about somebody like waiting and picking the right person. But what's the rush? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so. What's her entire name? Amy Cohen.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Okay. So, I mean, I know that the biggest thing was, well, she's liberal, right? And for we don't like to talk about politics at all, right? Like we try to stay away from the Democrats and Republicans and like that's none of the, we always more about women empowerment, right? But I think this, in the case of Ruth, who just passed away, right?
Hmm.
I think it's a slap in the face to all the things that she has done for women to immediately appoint someone right after her death. I mean, God, it hasn't even been, 2 weeks or a month yet, right? She just recently passed away. So it's almost like you pass away and your husband remarries within like a week or two. Like, let's just think about that for a second,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I have a story about that. Like when my ex-husband is my ex-husband because I found out he was having an affair. And he had been in an affair for almost 6 years when I found out about it. And so I moved out of the house a week after Thanksgiving. And in January, there was a big boxing match, and we used to be the hosts. Everybody knew that our house was the party house, and we would host fight nights and game nights and, Super Bowl parties and Halloween. And like we were just the hosts all the time. So lo and behold, this fight is happening literally in January. And he lets me know, he's like, hey, by the way, I'm hosting a fight night and I'm inviting all our friends to this fight night. And I was like, oh, ain't nobody going to go, right? Everybody went. Everybody went. And I felt exactly what you're saying is like, wow, am I really that replaceable? So that you just feel like you don't matter. You feel like you're literally like, oh, I guess I wasn't consequential in this thing. And it broke my heart that, wow, my house, my kitchen, my dishes, just a new woman right there in the spot. And I guess it doesn't matter that I'm gone. And it was very, very hurtful.
Wow. Yeah. It almost seems like as if everybody knew, right? Maybe, possibly.
Maybe, yeah, maybe, possibly. I don't know.
And at the end of the day, good riddance, just, at the end of the day, if that's what the person does, right? That's fine. Karma has his way of always coming back and biting you in the butt, or vengeance of the Lord, whichever way people like to see it, right?
Yeah.
But even with Ruth, it's similar. It's a betrayal. It's a betrayal,
Yeah.
like how you felt betrayed. It's a betrayal as far as you're going to point someone that quickly. I guess my concern is, and to be honest with you, I don't even know much about this chick.
Yeah.
Man, I shouldn't call her chick. She's one of the highest judges in the courts. But I just think it's too soon. But it could be possibly he needed to get someone in there before.
Well, they have
he
an
left.
argument about the reason why they wanted her in there so quickly is because of the election. So they're saying don't appoint her until after the election. And his argument is, no, we got to do it before because there's only 8 judges left. So in the event that the election is contested, which it probably will be because he keeps saying that there's going to be fake votes. And so if he loses, it's going to be because it was rigged and he's going to contest it or whatever. So they're saying then the only ones that could legitimize the election would be the Supreme Court. And if there's only 8 judges, there could be a tie. And then we as a country could be stuck, in a really bad spot. However, it's very rare, very, very rare that the judges ever end up in a tie. There's always a higher percentage that agree to one side than the other. So it would be extremely unlikely they would actually end up in a tie.
Yeah.
It's possible, but it's unlikely.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And Angel, she has a point. She said, wasn't it Ruth's dying wish to be replaced after the election? This is all the president so he can have someone he wants.
I agree, Angel.
I think it was one of her dying wishes as well to be replaced afterwards. So like, come on, like she did a lot. Like, why would you not, honor her dying wish? But again, it is what it is. We know who our president is and whether you're for him or against them.
Well, he's all about, like you said, being the best and about winning and about beating others and like putting himself in these positions of ultimate power, because this is ultimate power. When you assign a Supreme Court justice, they're appointed for life. And so their views are the country stuck with them. He's already had the opportunity to appoint 2. Now this will be his 3rd. 3 out of 9 to have 33% control, if you will, over something so major that's unprecedented. It's a huge, huge deal. And so he wants that accolade. He wants to have that in his resume to say, I was the only president ever to have done something. And this is a really big deal, because if you're putting in people who have these views that are going to change laws, that are going to affect things that have already put in place and maybe change them or take them out or whatever, that's a lot of power.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. So, we'll see what happens. We wanted to just bring that, and see, get everyone's feedback and their opinions and just bring awareness to what's going on, right? We like to talk about trending topics and things that are going to affect our lives. You like, good point, right? Like laws are passed and approved through the Supreme Court, right? Like that's the highest court that there is. So, I appreciate your feedback, ladies, on this. And we wanted to just recap the reason why we didn't have um, a show last week because we had a retreat. It was our 2020 retreat, and now we're back. It's been a week.
Yes.
Um, and for the viewers that are watching, they were like, "Where's Jennifer? Where's Nancy? Where's the show at?" Like I was pooped. I was like out. Like I am no longer in my mind.
I was tired, but I still came back and I still had my questions and I was ready. I'm
Yeah,
like, just in case.
she's ready. Yeah, she's always ready. But you know what? When you execute and you're an event producer and you're on for 48 hours straight,
Mhm, mhm.
you're literally on. Like, I don't think people realize, if you've ever thrown a quinceañera, if you've ever thrown a baptism, if you've ever thrown a party, you get a sliver of what producing an event feels like, right? And you're tired at the end of the day. You really didn't enjoy the party. I just threw a birthday party for the little one who just turned 1 this weekend,
Oh,
and we only had, thank you.
Happy
We only had like 3, 4 families here. We kept it very small. We have a family of almost 100 people. We have a large family, right? It's my husband. So we usually have huge parties. And this time around, I was like, nope, 3 families with the pandemic. We got to be mindful of all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
It was so nice to have a small gathering because it was like, oh my God, I can enjoy the party. I can hang out and sit here and eat and talk to the guests.
Mhm.
So I didn't have that realization until this weekend. Like, but when you're doing, the retreat, literally you're on from Friday or all day Friday. Well, let's think about this. All week for the past month, it's been retreat planning, and then you actually have the retreat. I was dreaming of the retreat. That's how consumed I was. And then I would wake up and then retreat, 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 go to sleep, retreat. Like it was exhausting, but I'm glad the women had a great experience. Thank you, Martha, for being patient and
oh, that's
that's okay.
fine.
We could do
That's
it next
fine.
week. Um, but I think this retreat was definitely one of the most memorable, and I'll probably have a whole video on it in the group, our Facebook group, for everyone to listen on our experience. So thank you. I don't know, Nancy, if you wanted to share a couple words on that.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean, I think that this one, and I don't know about you, and like, I wanted to say that I don't know the theme, and we kept seeing, right? And I don't know, it's not only me, caterpillars and butterflies. So it had like a significance, like caterpillars and butterflies. And it was beautiful butterflies. And at the end, the last day we were there, that beautiful butterfly that flew in between us and somewhere in between you and like one of us or something like that. And then me seeing the caterpillar, I mean, it was amazing. Not only that, I mean, everything was amazing. I mean, the boot camps, the aqua fitness, the journaling, um, the sharing, the bonfire. I mean, everything had like a significance, right? And I mean, it was just phenomenal. I was tired, and yes, these retreats, if you think that they're relaxation, no, 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 no.
I don't
You
think
work.
there's ever. I was telling the ladies, I don't think I'll ever have a relaxing retreat. I'm just gonna be honest. Because to me, it's like, no, it's time to work. You're away from your kids and your family. Focus on you. Let's get it in, right? Like that's more of my mentality. But just wanted to share some thoughts on that. So thank you, ladies, for tuning in. I know we have some people saying that it was a beautiful retreat, and I know Leslie loved it. As I said, you're glowing, Jennifer. Oh, thank you. I'm in love. I'm in love with how I feel after the event. Um, And of course, now into the final topic that we wanted to talk about, which is like the main topic, is everything for Selena. So tell us, Nancy, tell us why we're talking about this. Because
Well, I remember like last time you wanted to talk about her, and I said, okay, let's do it. And
in
remember
honor
that
of you,
show? Yeah,
in honor of
that
you.
show. I know some people don't like her, right? I'm not going to mention any names, but but I love her so much. She's been my role model, and since like I was younger, and that when I heard her news that she passed away, I was devastated. I mean, I actually cried, and I mean, I cry. I'm a crybaby too, but like when I see like sad movies and things like that, or sad things, but like she was like. Like she made me happy, and I don't know about, because she struggled so much, to be in the music world, with the men, I guess, because in the competition, she did Tejano music, and I guess most of them were men. And so, she struggled, but she made it, she made it. And, it was through her strength as, the person that she was, how she handled herself. And, her music that, she broke that, that
Mm,
stigmata, right? I guess if you want to call it that, it's only a men's world. Women could do it too. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
mm,
I fell in love with Selena too, and my oldest brother got me into the world of Tejano music, even though we're not Tejanos. But he loved Tejano, and so he was in a band and all this other stuff. So I grew up sort of like in the Tejano world, and I remember when she started to come on the scene, and she was like, "Wait a minute, where did she come from?" And she had such a presence about her, but her voice was just incredible, and just everything about her was so awesome. And I'm with you. When I found out that she passed away, I cried as if I had lost, somebody that I knew. Um, and I was kind of like, what is this? You know what I mean? But I think
Can't be.
music is so powerful. Music, I think if you play a song right now from like your youth, it literally transcends you back to that place. You could feel
absolutely.
what you felt. You could remember where you were. You could sometimes remember what you were wearing. And it's such a powerful thing, sometimes for good, sometimes for bad. I don't want to remember certain memories sometimes or certain people, but that's what it was for me. Is it was just, she was just larger than life, and she was
Yes.
so beautiful. And like you said, as women, you're like, you aspire to be like, oh, I want to wear that outfit. I want to wear my hair like that. I want to, and
Yeah.
just everything about her. I just absolutely loved her.
Yeah, she is amazing. So for the viewers that are watching, share what's your favorite Selena song. I know we have some questions there about Selena. So what before we continue talking, so Nancy, what's your favorite Selena song? And Marta, what's your favorite Selena song? If you had to pick one song. Well, I know she has amazing. She has a lot, but what would be your like top, this is my song?
Well, I actually love one of her songs that isn't a mainstream song. It's called, well, it's not even her song. She just covers it. It's called Siempre Hace Frío. And the way that she
I
sings,
know who is Pedro Infantes,
oh my
right?
gosh. I think so. I'm not sure. One of the oldies. But when I heard her singing that song, I was going through something, and it was like one of those things where, yeah, you think you're going to a better place, but it's going to be cold there too, right? And I don't know, it just really captured me in the way I think I caught a live version maybe or something, but her emotion and just her voice, and it's just one of those, for me, it's one of my top favorites.
My favorite is Bidi Bidi Bum Bum because it puts me in such a great mood that I can be like in the saddest mood or whatever. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And let me find my Selena. Let me put my music on. I like them all, but I need to like
Yeah,
pick me up. And that's my song, like Bidi Bidi Bum Bum.
that's awesome.
But obviously, like I love all her songs. But yeah, that would be my favorite. I'm with
Nice, nice.
Hamlet. I think Hamlet said Bidi
Bitty
Bidi
Bitty Bum Bum. Yeah, she got Bitty Bitty Bum Bum. We have Angel
Angel.
Says See Una
Yeah,
Vez. She
that's
loves that.
my favorites too.
Ana said Como la Flor. That's a classic, Como la Flor. I think for me it's No Me Queda Más. I love her, even the music video in the that white dress. I think they have that dress in a museum. If I'm
Yes.
not if I'm
Purpose.
not mistaken. In Corpus Christi, they have it?
Yes.
Oh,
And
nice.
that's
Yeah.
the other thing too, is the Corpus Christi Museum. My daughter's only 14
Yes. I want to
and
go there so bad.
she loves Selena. Like she can sing the songs, she knows some of the dances, and I'm just like, you weren't even alive. You know what I mean? You were born 10 years after the fact. But just to show you like how transcending an artist can be. She's like, Mom, when the pandemic's over, I want to go to Corpus Christi. And I'm like,
Oh,
why?
oh, it's
She's
the
like, I want to go
legacy.
to the museum and I want to, like, she loves everything about her. And it's just so touching to me that, here we are all these years later and that she's still touching lives and inspiring girls.
Yeah. We have, I'm assuming maybe that's Mary. She put fotos y recuerdos. That was a good one
Too.
too.
Yeah.
Um, definitely, I think she has a legacy, right? And I think that was one of the biggest things that in our community, especially in our coaching program, we're all about what's going to be our legacy, right? Like I've asked these. There's Mary. She put fotos recuerdos. Um, right, like we always talk about our legacy, what we're leaving behind. I don't know if in our coaching program that's actually launching, I pushed it back 1 week. It was supposed to launch this past weekend. We talk about what are you leaving behind, and I've done activities where we talk about, if what's your eulogy. I don't know if you've ever done that activity of sitting down and like, I know Nancy has done it. We've done activities like that in our workshops, but I want you to sit down and write your eulogy. That's deep. That's something that people don't want to do, like to sit there and say. And I know that's from Stevie Covey, I think it is. It's his activity from his book. He recommends write your eulogy, because if you had to write your eulogy right now and you were going to pass away now, what would people say about you? Right? And like Selena, her legacy will continue. One, we keep it alive. Like it's up to the people. Like she impacted so many lives. When she passed away, I was still in elementary school, and I remember running to my dad and saying, "Bah, all her CDs are gonna run out in the store. I need one." Like I remember being the little girl, like I need my CD, and I think he bought me the Selena, the both the English when she transitioned into English.
Hmm.
That's the one he bought me. So I remember like with my Walkman, walking around this 90s kid, like listening to Selena, right? Um, so yeah, it's up to us to keep that legacy going. And now that I think about it, Lo did a great job, you know, um, putting her on the big screen, when at playing her role.
Yeah.
Because I know because of Selena's life, whether you agree or not, I don't care. So J Lo started her career off that life. She
Hmm.
did such a great job because no one knew Selena, no one knew J Lo. They knew she was a fly girl. You know, that's what she was before Selena came around. And I think she was in the movie Mi Familia when she was a up and coming actress. So I remember these movies, even though I was a kid. So just Selena's life even like impacted her, her life. And I think I've read articles where Selena's father said, he loves the fact that J-Lo played his daughter because he feels like she was the perfect person. If the father says that, we should agree to that too, right? Like,
Yeah.
who else?
I saw a documentary or an interview or something where she spent an ungodly amount of hours studying her. And even her moves. And if you were a Selena diehard fan, you knew she had these signature little moves. And even the way she did her turns when she did her cumbia, she had this little way. She had so many nuances about her. And when she would speak, she would do certain things with her mouth. And like she really captured those things.
She
So for
did.
me, when I was watching her, it was like, whoa, I feel like I'm really watching the real Selena. And when she was dancing, I think it was the Beady Beady Bum Bum song where she was wearing the purple pantsuit, and the way that she would do her turns and flip her hair, like there's just certain nuances, and she had those on lock. She did an amazing job with that.
I agree. I think you're totally, now that I think about it, you're right. Like even certain things, we were just watching old videos of Selena this past weekend where, have you guys ever seen when Selena would grab her, like a person from the audience and would sing? Because my sister-in-law, she brought it to our attention and she would sing like she just breaking up with him, and how she would like grab the dude and like yell at him in his face, and like I was like, we were all like, wow, she was a beast on stage when she would do that. And all the guys would get all like, they were all nervous. But it was cute. It was cute.
Yeah.
Like her legacy definitely. I appreciate Nancy for bringing this topic up because I know she's a diehard Selena fan. Um, I guess one of the questions, how did Selena inspire you? What would you guys, how would you answer that?
For me, it's the way that she was, because I never saw her in a negative tone ever. And I mean, the media, and the media is always on you, like for how you are, how you portray yourself, how do you, her mannerism, and I never saw her in like a negative tone. And I'm like, how did she do that? And I'm like, I want to be like that, like I want to be able to, like, don't let anybody, I don't care what anybody says, and I'm going to be in this great mood and happy and laughing. And her laugh was just like so contagious, like it was just like you couldn't do nothing but laugh. And the way that she attracted so many people, because I think that was her kind of legacy, the way that she could attract and how many people she attracted, and for her being the woman in this Tejano music world, with when it's a male dominated one, that was amazing to me. That was amazing.
Mm,
So she inspires me in that sense, that she did something that people thought she couldn't do, and she did it.
mm,
That's awesome. For me, I think it evolved. It evolved because originally, I just loved her because she was an artist and she was beautiful and fun to look at, and her songs. And it was a very superficial attraction to her. But after watching the movie and after watching the documentaries about her and all of that stuff, I think what I realized about her was her work ethic, and how it took so much work to create the persona that Selena put for us on stage, and all of the hours that went into, the background scenes of creating that for us. And I love that. But the thing that inspired me was how she handled the betrayal.
mm,
Instead of using her stardom and using whatever to like really just come after this woman, she came after her as a woman,
mm,
and she just basically was like, you broke my heart. Like, you betrayed my trust. You broke my heart. And she became like a human to me in that moment. And that her character showed through in wanting to still be loving and kind to someone who had betrayed her so greatly just spoke
mhm.
volumes to me. So I think she inspired me in that regard of her character and her work ethic for sure. Mhm.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And if you guys are watching and you guys want to share, go ahead and write it in the comments, like how she inspired you. But overall, even like for me, I guess just her beauty in itself was inspirational, right? Her way of being. Like, I mean, she was a fashion designer. She did all her outfits, right? She was a creative, right? She wasn't fluent in Spanish. She had to learn Spanish. Like that, she didn't, right? Like you could watch, I remember watching a Don Francisco interview, and she was talking to Don Francisco, and you could hear in her voice how, it wasn't, Spanish wasn't her first language,
Mhm.
right? And for me, like, I feel the same way. Like, I haven't practiced Spanish. Like, I rarely practice my Spanish anymore. I don't have, besides my parents, who else do I practice Spanish with? So to watch even that, how she practiced her, how she made it happen, even though she wasn't 100% fluent in Spanish, right? Um, And I think even in the movie she says, like, was it with her father with that line? I don't know if they ever really said it in real life, but like, we have to be better Mexicans and we have to be better Americans, and like, it's exhausting because we have to do double the work, right? Like, you have to prove that you're just as American and you have to prove that you're just as Mexican, right? And I always throw this joke out, like, I'm pocha, like, let me just be honest with you guys, right? Like, and I know some people take that as offensive word, but I've embraced it because it's like, the reality is my Spanish ain't the best. Um, so that was what's inspiring to me. And I know the show is coming on. So when's the show coming on, Nancy? I'm sure you already know the date.
I don't know when the date is, but I have it set on my Netflix. I think it's next year. Yeah, I have a set reminder, but it didn't say when because I keep searching for it
I
every
thought it
time
was
I go
this. I thought it
into
was this fall. It's not this fall.
Netflix. Mm-mm.
Oh,
Not
good.
that I've seen, no. But it's coming. I know it's like I said. I set it in my reminder, so I'll make an I'll put something in the
Yeah.
women's chat, or
Okay.
like group to let you guys know. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm just like I can't wait because like Chris Perez put something together, and the dad stopped them from putting it up, and so I guess there were some legalities there, but thank goodness it's coming back up. But yeah, but I can't wait. I mean, anything Selena, like I'm there. I mean, I don't think it's ever like, I know she's gone, but it's just like it was never gone. And I don't know if you guys seen like some of the Univision shows where they like put the holographs of her, and I'm like, she's not gone, she's still here. Like
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is cool. Well, this is a great conversation. I appreciate a good Selena conversation here and there, right? And I guess we've talked so much. We had other questions like, what's your favorite fact of Selena? But because of time, we'll probably be wrapping up. But you guys can share. You guys see the questions, answer the questions in the comment section. What's your favorite fact, or what you would ask her if she was still alive, right? And then, of course, we wanted to make sure we make announcements. So, Marta, before we wrap up, do you have anything that you wanted to share with the viewers? In
Yeah,
reg-
thank you so much for that opportunity. I actually just finished my very first virtual Master Your Finances challenge. That's a class that I teach live. So this whole new virtual world is like throwing me for a loop, but I'm really enjoying the challenge of learning something new and going virtual and learning the technology of being able to teach through a screen instead of in real life. So we just came off of our very first one. And I'm excited to announce that we're going to do another one beginning October 19th. It's a 5-day challenge. I split it up over 5 days because when we're talking about finance, there's so many things that come into it. We talk about everything from the mindset around it and how to create healthy habits to the actual nuances of how to find the money in your budget, how to get out of debt in 9 years or less, including your mortgage and student loans in 9 years or less. And I show them the math of, look, it's just math and common sense. And just investments, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are safe, how are they taxed? And, you don't want to do that all in one day and overwhelm everybody. So I split it up in 45 to 1 hour segments over 5 days. This one we did as a lunch and learn. And people were like, I would do it if it was in the evening. I just can't get away during the day. So this next one coming up is going to be an evening session beginning at 7 p.m. Again, it starts Monday, October 19th, and it'll go Monday through Friday that week. So if you'd like, I can put a link in the group or send you the link, and then you decide what you do with it. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm excited about that, especially
thank
going into the holidays. We got to get really, that money mindset where it needs to be before the holidays, tsunami us again,
you.
like they normally do.
Of course. Yeah. What we could do is, Martha, just share it in the comments section
Okay.
so everyone that's watching, just look at the comment section of this video, and then you should find the link there, and that's how we can promote it. And yeah, that's a good point. Everyone needs to learn how to manage their money. Managing money
Yeah,
is critical. You said a point, and this is something I always say: common sense isn't so common,
it's
right?
not.
The real, that's the reality. So, like, if anyone needs to learn about their finances, reach out to Marta. She's
Yeah.
doing the class.
Finances seem scary and boring, but I try to make it as light and as fun as I can. And I really try to go slow and really hone in on points. So nothing to be afraid of.
Uh, Good point. Good point. And I wanted to share. Nancy, do you have any final comments? This is your last show, Nancy.
This is my last show. Thank you so much. I I don't know. I think I grew as a person. I don't know if physically or whatever, but I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And all I want to say is everybody have an awesome week, blessed week. I want to share one of Selena's quotes. Always believe the impossible is possible, and all you need to do is try and do the best that you can do. That's all you can do. And be happy, right? And try to be happy as much as you can, no matter what, right? And we'll get, no matter what it is. Mi abuelita, my grandma used to say, everything has a solution but death. So,
Mhm.
up and forward, awake, and everything is possible. Have an awesome week.
Yay! Yay. And I wanted to quickly share for those that are watching, we are enrolling right now for cohort 5. So if anyone, a lot of the women have taken the coaching program. So if anyone's watching, we do a lot of, well, Nancy's also a graduate from, my co-hosts are all graduates from the coaching program. This is part of their development as, my commitment to my alumni, to my coaching programs, is continue to developing women in areas that they need to develop, right? This is why we do the community. So I love the fact that Nancy took on this challenge and said, I want to try to do a show. And she was on it. I said, here are the topics, or this is how the protocol of how to run a show. Share the topics that you want to talk about. So she did a lot of the production and behind the scenes, right? All the co-hosts always do the production behind the scenes, which is great. But for those that are interested in more coaching, so the coaching that we provide is development in the sense of time management, boundaries, setting goals. There's a lot of accountability. So if you're a woman, and I love, the thing that I love about the program is that it works both in personal and business. It's up to you. It's very personalized, the coaching. And I think a lot of people feel like, well, is it more personal or is it more professional? It's actually both, right? So we go through a 12-week program where we go through different topics every week. And like I said, time management, setting goals, boundaries, saying no. We even talk about, gosh, Nancy, what else do we talk about?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness, right?
Forgiveness.
We go through all this series of authenticity, being your authentic self.
Forgiving.
What really is being assertive, right? What does that look like? Aggression, how to handle conflict accordingly. So we talk about all these topics in a 12-week format. And then we also have accountability sessions and one-on-one coaching for specific goals. So if anyone is interested, we're still enrolling. This is the last week of enrollment for that, for cohort 5. And I've only heard amazing things about the program. So let me know if anyone is interested. I'm very flexible. Payment plans are available. Payment plan options are available. For me, it's about growth, right? And it's so foundational for all women, which is the great thing, right? If you're business and you really want to hone in on your business side, take me up on that, because I'm pretty sure I can challenge you and get you to that level. So I've worked with restaurants, insurance, I've worked with so many different type of women, cleaning companies, like so many type of entrepreneurs. So Nancy launched her Zumba career as a result of the coaching program, right? Nancy. So
And
um,
hopefully soon my juices. I know.
oh,
I'm
and your juice company.
yeah,
Yes, you're
yeah.
right. So thank you everyone for watching. And next week, Angel Ramirez will be our co-host for the month of October. So we're excited to have her with us. She's the woman that's really inspirational, really encouraging. You'll see her all in the community, sharing and inspiring women and putting comments, and she's doing her thing, which she's really good at. So thank you so much, Martha, for being on with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and congratulations again for losing 17 pounds in our biggest
Thanks.
challenge. That's amazing. And
Thank you.
thank you everyone for watching. You guys are awesome. So God bless everyone. Have an amazing week. Start your week off strong.
Yes.
Bye, guys.